Okay, now we have the solutions to question 10, okay, which is a graph question. Part A is to find the value of k. Over here, to find the value of k, we sub the value of x is equals to 4. Plug in the values, k is equals to 2.5. And I've written it down here on my question paper. Now for part B, using a scale of 2 cm to represent 1 unit on both axes, draw a smooth curve. So if you notice, I've drawn a smooth curve here, like this. And the next thing that I should do here is to label the curve. And the curve is y is equals to half x squared plus 18 over x minus 10. And that concludes part B. Part C, 1. Use your graph to find the least value. Okay, the least value would occur down here like this. If you look at the graph, okay, the least value is down here. So if we just draw a dotted line, okay, and you read correct to half a square, the least value, so for C part 1, and C1, the least value is 0.25. Correct to half a square. C part 2, solution for half x squared plus 18 over x equals to 17. So down here, I shall do my working on the top right hand corner. 10C part 2. Half x squared plus 18 over x is equals to 17. Notice what we have drawn, okay, down here is half x squared plus 18 over x minus 10. So what is missing from this side is the minus 10. So what I do is half x squared plus 18 over x. I will subtract 10 from both sides of the equation. So here I have a minus 10. 17 minus 10 gives me 7. So what I need to do now, since this has already been drawn on the graph, the axis itself. So what I do now is to draw y equals to 7, which will give me a horizontal line like this. Okay, then I will draw a dotted line down. Okay, and the dotted line, and over here, the value that I get is, the solution is x equals to 1. Okay, let me show you where I've drawn the dotted line down. From there, where the two graphs intersect. Okay, and we get x is equals to 1. And that is C part 2. Indeed, by drawing a tangent, find the gradient of the curve at x equals to 4. X equals to 4 is down here. Let me attempt to draw a gradient. Been drawn at x equals to 4. Okay, I pick out 2 points here. This point here is 5.4. Oops. And the other point here is 3.5 and 1. So what I do here is this: to find gradient, I simply apply the formula. So I get is 5.4 minus 1 divided by 5 minus 3.5. Okay, what I get is 4.4 over 1.5. Now I need to look for a calculator. Okay, and then we have the calculations for the gradient over here. y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. In the end, what I get is the value of the gradient is 2.93. Now on to part E. Draw the graph of 5 minus x. Okay, first for E, part 1. What I know is that the graph of 5 minus x, I write it as y equals to negative x plus 5. So you notice that I'm going to draw a graph, okay, a straight line rather, with the y-intercept as 5 and the gradient as negative 1. So if my y-intercept is 5, immediately I just mark out here, this is 5. My gradient is negative 1. So how do I draw a gradient as negative 1? For every step forward I move, I will go down by 1 step. This is negative 1. So my next point will be here like this. Straight away, I can draw the graph of y equals to 5 minus x. just like this. For E part 2, what I do here now is to write down the x coordinates where the two graphs intersect. Okay, where the two graphs intersect, okay, one point is down here, like this. And the other point where it intersects is down here, like this. So for E part 2, okay, the x coordinates are respectively 1.45 and 3.6. Let me write it down. 1.45, correct. Okay, sorry. Okay, 1.45 when intersect down here. 1.45 and 3.6, which I will write it here like this. So these are the two x coordinates. And finally, they say write down the range of x where half x squared plus 18x minus 10 is greater than 5 minus x. So greater than means that the curve should lie above the straight line. So if you notice from the graph, where does it lie above the straight line? This portion here, okay, and this portion here, up until this point. From here to here, the curve actually lies below the straight line. This portion down here and this portion down here, the curve will lie above the line, which is what the question is asking. So the range of values simply is x must be lesser than 1.45 or x must be greater than 3.6 for the curve half x squared plus 18x minus 10 will be greater than 5 minus x. And that concludes question 10.